Better can roll. How? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Business Today. My name is Jerome Paul Sonko with Winnie Buyinza Nakauchi on sign language. And we start off with the Turkey-Uganda relations. Turkey has developed economic relations with Uganda, which has led to an increase in trade figures. Turkish entrepreneurs have financed more than 1,750 projects worth $81 billion. However, business support groups like CASITA still have questions on how this relationship can help the business community. Naima Mutumba has more of the details.
Turkey is the 19th largest economy in the world and is in the 13th place for the highest gross domestic product. It has a population of 83 million people, of whom the biggest percentages are youth. In terms of business, the country has over 300 industrial zones, making it the key manufacturer. However, Ugandans still have questions about how they can access the market in Turkey.
Of Sierra Leone cannot work together, but would prefer to work with the Turkish. Unfortunately, it's not easy. When you cannot work with your fellow citizen, then it's not easy to work with someone foreigner. It's more important if we can deepen our understanding and working relationship with citizens before we think about partnering with others. However, having said that, we shouldn't forget that Turkey is one of the biggest producers of cotton garments globally, and that's where we should focus. What do we have to learn from Turkey? How do they reach that?
Emeka Ikel, Uganda's honorary consul to Anatolia, indicated that there has been steady progress ever since this business relationship was established between the two countries.
Exports was $29,720,000 was 2018, and now we made actually 21 million. Already did it in 4 months in this year. That means it shows that Turkey and Uganda has already started a huge trade opportunities. 5 years ago, no one knew anything about Uganda. Now, when you go to Turkey, whoever you speak, they can tell you where Uganda is, what is the opportunities, and which area they can invest in Uganda.
Addressing the press, Utiku Bengisu, the chairman World Cooperation Industries Forum, called upon Uganda manufacturers to be part of the 7th International Business Forum to be held in Ankara from the 14th to the 15th September 2022 as a way of strengthening the manufacturing sector.
Business opportunity for all African participants and strengthen the trade ties between the African continent and Turkey. We hope to have with us a delegation companies and business people from your country, Uganda, and we believe that the participation for companies and Chamber of Commerce of your country will be of great benefit to you. The time is now. Grow your business with Turkey. Develop with your Turkey, because Turkey offers to Africa a different way. a win-win strategy. And we are here to not just thinking of export Uganda. We are here to discover the investment potential and to discover business collaboration and import potential from Uganda to Turkey.
Africa imports most of its raw materials from other countries, which Utiku says should be the other way around, which is the major purpose of this forum.
$20 billion import from African countries. And as we told you before, $7 billion we are directly investment in the African country. I want to give you an example, your close country, Ethiopia. The Turkish investment of Ethiopia now over $2 billion. More than 300 companies in Turkey, from Turkey in Uganda, they started manufacture in Ethiopia. It's a very important example for you. We are here to develop our business and to develop our partnership, to collaborate.
Ugandans were urged to limit on importations, but rather strategize on manufacturing the same products within the country.
To believe your potentials. Uganda is a you call it Pearl of Africa, which is true actually. Everything is magic in here, air, soil, you got the water, you have the manpower. That's why you need to believe that Uganda or other African countries is going to be the future of the world. Uganda and the other African countries is going to feed the rest of the world actually. 70% of soil, lands, empty lands in Africa, also in Uganda. 80% of labor, employees, young people, they are living in Africa.
This business forum seeks to grow trade volumes between the two countries through business linkages, government-to-government meetings, exhibitions, investment facilitation, and advisory services. Prices for the business forum in September include the basic package, which will be at €950, that is approximately 3,682,700 Ugandan shillings, and the VIP package at €1,350, which is approximately 5,233,361 Uganda shillings. Naomi Mtumba, Business Today, Smart 24.
All right, now let's move on to the next report regarding the West Nile districts that are in need of a bridge. Leaders from Moyo district have asked government to speed up the construction of a bridge on the River Nile that connects Moyo to Adjumani and South Sudan. Anyama William, the chairperson of Local Council 5, has said that at the Laropi landing site, the ferries are not reliable, which has affected the economic development and household incomes in West Nile. Pedison Mumbere with the report.
In 2019, a team of officials from the Uganda National Roads Authority, UNRA, started carrying out feasibility studies for the proposed bridge on the River Nile that connects Adjumani to Moyo district via Omi and Laropi ferry landing sites. But up to date, the construction has not yet commenced. When going to Moyo district from Adjumani, one has to wait for the ferry to land and then cross over. Upon reaching the landing site, the ferry will then offload and another group gets on. It's from this basis that leaders from Moyo district are asking government to speed up the construction of the bridge that connects Moyo to Adjumani and Southern Sudan. Anyama William, the chairperson, Local Council 5 Moyo district, says that the usage of the ferry to cross to his district restricts the day-to-day transportation of goods and services.
The economic development of the people of Moyo for many years is stagnated because of the River Nile barrier. That has greatly impacted negatively on the movement of goods and services and the movement of the people. For us in Moyo district, our movement is restricted by a government timetable. In a day, while the rest of Uganda can move and goods and services can move 24 hours a day, in Moyo we do half of that. Movement of people, goods and services is done for 12 hours because we follow a timetable of the ferry. And this restricts our movements, this restricts goods and services delivery, and this has affected even the commodity prices in Moyo.
Communication and transport is a factor of production. And we say time is money. Like I'm also from Ajumani, that's why I came late here. The ferry delayed me there. And also the minister confessed and said he was held at the ferry place. So time is money. The more you delay, the more amount of money you lose. That's why the Europeans have developed so far, because they keep time. And if really if we can be able to get a bridge across the River Nile, then you will see how this region will be open up for socio-economic development. Because we have here in the South Sudan, we have Kajokeji over here. And also those who come from Aru and so on, will pass via here to go to Nimule and Juba.
At Laropi landing site, there are boat operators who work alongside the ferry transport system managed by the Uganda National Roads Authority.
As ferry, you cannot cross.
Other pending projects include tarmacking of the roads that connects Atiak to Laropi with funding from the European Union, and Laropi to Moyo, as well as Afoji border with Southern Sudan using funding from African Development Bank.
Many other districts, why not us? Can you imagine we have been this way right from the time God created this world? We have been suffering. How many years now have we lived here since the creation of the world? For how long are we going to live in this situation? You cannot talk about Moyo without addressing, you cannot talk about the development, prosperity, the development aspirations of the people of Moyo without addressing the problem of a bridge on the River Nile. The day you put a bridge there and you upgrade our road from Laropi to South Sudan border, Moyo will be opened to economic prosperity, and the livelihoods and the economy of this area will grow.
Upon completion, it is estimated that at least 1,000 people will be crossing on the bridge daily, something that will improve the country's economic development and also improve household incomes by boosting trade in the West Nile districts of Uganda. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV.
Thank you, Pedison Mumbere, for that report. Now we move on to commemorating the World Youth Day. Uganda has joined the rest of the world to celebrate and commemorate the World Youth Day. This comes when the unemployment rate among the youth is too high, leading to slow economic growth in the country. Small labor markets, a high population growth rate, and a lack of working experience. More of the details.
Most especially, most of the jobs we look at, we find they ask for 5 years experience, and of which we tend to back off from those jobs because you well know you are a fresh graduate, and how can you be with 5 years experience? So most of the time we don't even bother applying for them or trying our luck. We just leave them knowing that after all we are not eligible because we are fresh from campus. So that is why there is a lot of unemployment.
The Vice President has told youth that the government is ready to help them prosper and advise them on what has to be done to develop them both socially and economically.
From the youth comes the senior youth, from the senior youth comes the elderly youth. So I would like to call upon all of us to coexist peacefully for the socio-economic transformation of our country.
However, how can the youths use ICT to bridge the unemployment gap amongst themselves?
Because most of the businesses are run by ICT, we hope that if people have incubation hubs to train even if you have done business, but you can go and train to be a computer literate, because everything is done. Most of the things have now gone digital. We are talking about computers, smartphones. So I would encourage people to, those who are capable of starting hubs or startup incubations, to help not only ICT students, but also other studies.
Create more opportunities for people. In what way? What do I mean by this? In a way of innovating their ideas, bringing them to life. That's why we have URSB on board, which is helping us to train people on how to protect their patent rights of their innovative ideas, so that nobody can steal those ideas. And in this way, these young people are able to create jobs as well for their fellow young people.
They don't know where to find internship opportunities, yet it is compulsory to be part of their courses. They don't know where to find jobs, but now we are bringing jobs close to them.
In 2020, the youth unemployment rate was at 4.0%. In 2021, it rose to 4.33%. And in 2022, it is expected to rise higher because over 60,000 graduates storm the job market annually. Monica Nabyonga, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Now, the government of Uganda, through the Uganda National Roads Authority, has warned the people in road reserves to get settlements in different areas, leaving it for free tree plantation to beautify the cities along highways across the country. Alan Sempewa Chobe, manager of media relations, while speaking to Smart 24 TV, reveals that the enforcement operations will commence on 1st September 2022. Samuel Kirimunda reports.
UNRA set to conduct the enforcement operations on encroachers near land road reserves. Why UNRA is doing this? What could be the possible solutions? The cost of living for Ugandans is likely to be very hard. The settlers should tighten their belts.
The Uganda National Roads Authority, UNRA, will start evicting people operating in road reserves in Kampala City and on other major highways starting in September. The affected roads are Munyonyo Spur, Ntebe Express Highway, Kampala Northern Bypass, Mukono Kayunga Road, Mukono Katosi Road, Kampala Bombo Road, Kampala Masaka Road, and Busega Mitiana Road. Others are Kampala Mukono Jinja Road, Kampala Gayaza Kalaji Road, and Kampala Hoima Road. Manager Media Relations from Uganda Roads Authority, UNRA, Alan Sempewa Chiyo.
Has come for us to now move in. Only for those who have not voluntarily moved away. We have a good number of those who have actually voluntarily left the reserves after several warnings and reminders, but we still have those who are still occupying the road reserves. So we're saying beginning next month, the 1st of September this year, we will be undertaking action against occupation, against those occupying our road reserves.
He also added that they will be engaging with authorities in municipalities and cities, find solutions for the people displaced through compensation.
We have bus parks, taxi parks, and in our road reserve, we engage the municipalities. In Kampala, for example, at Bwaise, the Northern Bypass interchange areas where taxis come and actually park, or they have established taxi stages. We've already engaged the local authority, and that is Kampala Capital City Authority, to try and establish where people can actually be settled,
Sempewa also added that they have 20 projects that Uganda Roads Authority targeted to build, though they have limited resources and thus only spend on emergency roads.
Roads which have no tarmac, as we call it. So those are the gravel roads or the maram roads, which also should be in a fair network. At least they should be accessible, they should be motorable. You have seen the rains, which have also taken us into disarray, but we are saying we'll do our best to ensure that we'll restore such roads that may be damaged by the rains, to ensure that we have our teams are able to move in as quickly as possible to intervene and allow access to people and their goods and services.
Smart 24 TV went ahead and had interactions with settlers in the road reserves to get their reactions on this order.
Pangisa ng'oli mu kizimbe munda oba oli kati nga waneeno wetuli tebakukompensatinga wabula bakompensate.
UNRWA does not compensate landlords inside the buildings, but they compensate those who have settlement businesses only and report just temporary small businesses as we look to other places else. Constructing roads is good, but on my side it affects me a lot. The only people who have benefited are the landlords.
Samuel Kirimunda, reporting for Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now away from that, we look at the education sector in the country. Quality education is one of the core values of a developed country, but in Uganda, it is the opposite due to the economic status of the country, which is seemingly forcing the private school business owners to shut down. The education sector is still facing limitations to achieve its intended objectives due to the economic difficulties in the country. Designer Mubiru with the details.
Since March 2020, schools in Uganda have been closed due to national lockdowns. These lockdowns have severely affected the education sector, forcing some of schools to close down completely. The education sector took the most hit after the pandemic. According to the chairman, National Private Education Institutions Association, private schools are going through a hard time due to the economic status of the country, forcing most private schools to close prematurely. We further interacted with the stakeholders who shared with us how the economic situation affected them and expressed their worries for the forthcoming term.
You find that before initially, when you're going to start the term, you have a budget. The budget you work on is going to run the whole term. A term is normally 3 months. So you budget that maybe this term I'm going to spend so much, especially on food.
And because of the forces of demand and supply, we have to see what portion of the fees we have to increase depending on the situation at play. Because if I was buying a sack of flour at 100 kilograms and it is now 350, then you can see where we are heading. A kilo of sugar, a jerrycan of cooking oil, which was at 80, it is now approaching 200. How can we manage?
The stakeholders have urged the government to always consider opinions from all sectors before giving directives.
First of all, it is imperative that the government communicates to us and we sit together and come up with solutions. This has not happened, apart from telling us not to close schools, which I totally don't agree with. As a human being, as a leader,
The education system is worrying, according to different academicians, requesting the government to give solutions to private schools in Uganda. Designer Nambiru, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
All right, now let's talk 40 Days 40 FinTech. As the 40 Days 40 FinTech initiative has quickly grown into one of the world's premier showcase events, the innovations have got more people to join the digital and financial technology to exhibit their products and services. Stakeholders have come together to share ideas on how to present a financial system that can fight cybercrime, identify the market space, and pick the right tech stack. Ronan Ahabwe with more.
We need to change that to having that, we take that to Western.
The National Payment Systems Policy for Uganda was approved by Cabinet on the 22nd of December 2017. It aimed to promote the safety and efficiency of payment systems in Uganda to foster financial sector stability and economic growth. NITA, as the gatekeeper of technology, says there are higher rates of cybercrime resulting from the use of these technologies.
From Bank of Uganda for March 2022, financial stability report mentioned that over 4 billion Uganda shillings had been lost due to fraud. And that raises a staggering question what we're doing to protect the consumers, but also to make sure that there is security that is trusted within the fintechs. And as NITA Uganda, as the regulator for technology in Uganda, we have different pieces of regulation where we interface with the fintechs. The first being the Electronic Transactions Act, and also have an independent office called the Data Protection and Privacy Office. Both combined provide for certain requirements that people that are licensed, for example, the fintechs have to go through for us to check and see they have done the minimal level of controls. And in addition to that, we did recently enhance what we call a computer emergency response team, which was established to help act faster, respond quick to issues of cyber incidents.
MTN was responsive when asked about the compliance rates it has with its customers.
To put the minimum expectations. The minimum expectations, for instance, you provide what kind of certificate is required. Is it TLS 2 or 1.2? What kind of authentication mechanisms you use? Is it Auth 2.0? So you put in all of this. So by the time a fintech gets onboarded into production, it is 100% compliant.
Innocent Kawoya, a financial inclusion specialist, says that the major thing participants should take away from this is cooperation and for all key players to take up the role of awareness.
We do not have enough awareness, and that's why we have initiatives like the 40 Days for the Fintechs initiative, and that's why we are here today at the Fintech Landscape Exhibition. It's the reason why we have generous partners in the economy and every kind of sector. We appreciate the fact that for any activity that may or must happen in the economy, at the end of the day there must be payment. So digital financial services, digital financial service providers, and the digital innovation ecosystem, especially that to do with payments, is an enabler of every kind of sector, including sleeping at homes.
Certain fintechs like Safe Border are utilizing the 40 Days and 40 FinTech initiative.
First of all, what we're looking for is safety, the convenience, the safety, and also making communities thrive. First of all, as Safe Border, you're secure when using the Safe Border wallet that you have a password of your own, you the user, that you're going to be seated at home or anywhere in your office to access all these kind of services. So majorly what we are spearheading is the safety and the convenience.
The minister congratulated the participants and urged them to build digital services that every Ugandan can benefit from.
To congratulate participants of Season 3 of the 40 Days 40 FinTech initiative, and also take this opportunity to thank HIPO, the organizers of this program, and their partners.
40 Days 40 FinTechs initiative was meant to boost innovation and also firms that use technology and enhance financial processes such as facilitating mobile money payments and loan provisions. Renana Habwe, Business Today, Smart 24 TV.
It's a 1/2 mark, and we're heading into a commercial break. We return with more from Business Today. Stick around.